We're gonna get started tonight. I am Randy Chambliss. I am the private money lender. As a result of the expert guidance, the education, and the private money that I lend, real estate investors, developers, and entrepreneurs all across the country get fair and equitable access to the capital they need to fund their profitable real estate deals easier so they can earn the income they prefer and live the lifestyle that they really want without going through the income personal verifications at the traditional banks, without going through the tax return headaches at the traditional banks, and without going through those loan hassles, right? Just straightforward, common sense, asset-based lending. And the whole goal is to be able to help reduce and prevent homelessness in our community by doing what? By being a problem solver, being a solution, having a social impact. And Chambliss Markets Capital social impact is just that. We are developing homeowners and real estate investors so they can go out and create more affordable and workforce housing so we can help reduce poverty and prevent and reduce homelessness in our community. So listen, everybody that we're working with, most of everybody have the same vision, have the same goals. And at the end of the day, it takes a team to build wealth. It takes a team to develop financial literacy in our community. So I'm grateful and I'm honored that I'll be able to work with you all. So with that being said, I'm going to move out the way and I'm going to open up the call for individuals to come on, put your cameras on, and just state your name, where you're calling in from, who you are, what you're doing, so that way we can network. So we're going to start with Miss Collins. How you doing, Miss Collins? Happy Tuesday. Come on in.
Hello. Hi,
Yes,
I did. How you doing? My name is Dorothy Collins. I'm calling from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm a retired administrative assistant from Shell Chemical Company, Geismar, Louisiana. And I currently own a dump truck company, Sea Services Incorporated. It's a bushwhacker legacy that my husband left to us. My oldest son is my vice president and my only employee. So we're running our little company. I volunteer in my community with Hope Ministries and Interfaith Federation of Greater Baton Rouge. Been working with them for over 20 years as a volunteer. And awesome. My main purpose is just to try to get information so that so that my children, I have 3 children, so that I can leave something for them so that they'll be able to leave something for their children.
I love it. I love it. Leave an inheritance to your children's children.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Collins.
Okay.
So next up, we have Mr. Barry. Come on in, sir. Tell us who you are. Where you calling from?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Barry Mallory. I'm calling from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a founder and CEO of Helping the Village, a new nonprofit organization in New Orleans just starting out. So I'll be working with families for financial literature, first-time home buyers, and everything else that needed. If I can't help them, I'll try to refer them out to another organization.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome, sir. Well, we have a lot of people that's certainly going to need that service that you have. So next up, we have Mr. Ulysses. Come on in, sir. Tell us who you are and where you calling from.
Hello, good evening. My name is Ulysses Harris. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm also a real estate investor out in Lafayette, Louisiana. And I'm also a broker with Chambliss Mortgage Capital, and continue to build up our neighborhood in the area and bring in people that can have affordable housing. So just continue to working and growing our community.
Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome to the call, sir. Happy Tuesday.
Hi, good evening. Will Palmer calling in from New Jersey. I am a real estate investor. Also work for AmeriHealth Caritas here in New Jersey. We are a behavioral health company. We service the state of New Jersey. We're pretty much the contracted system of care for the state of New Jersey, but I currently own 6 doors. Just looking to expand my funding options. So.
Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome. What you do, it matters, sir. Really matters. So thank you for sharing. Next up, we have Miss Campbell. Miss Campbell, come on in and tell us who you are, where you calling it from.
Hello, my name is Delia Campbell. I am calling from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm an investor as well. My current occupation is I house the unhoused. So I house adults that need a place to live. I have 2 of those houses running. In total, I guess right now I have 4 doors and I'm seeking more. Miss Patricia, please forgive me for
It's
not
all right.
being in
It's all
contact.
good.
Because, oh my God, I've been
It's all
flying back
good.
and forth. It takes a lot when I'm
It does.
traveling from Charlotte, North Carolina back to Missouri to take care of my people. So
I
that's kind
understand.
of where I am.
It's good.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the call. Happy Tuesday. Glad to hear that. What you do matters as well because that's part of affordable housing. You know, to be able to have somebody with some bed and a safe place, that is huge. So thank you for that. Next up, we have Miss Martin. Come on in, Miss Martin. Tell us who you are, where you're calling in from, ma'am.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chardell Martin, of course, representing Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in the
We're in
house.
the house. Yeah, Philly. Okay,
Um,
Louisiana.
I'm new to real estate investing, but I'm looking to grow in this area and take as much of the land as possible and be a blessing to my community, my family, be a solution. I'm here. I'm gain knowledge, connections, and everything else I can get.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome, Miss Martin. Welcome. This is a safe place for you here. Safe place. Next up, Mr. Rucker. Come on in, sir. Tell us who you are, where you calling in from, what do you do?
Hey, I'm Tony Rucker. I'm a realtor between Louisiana and Texas. Also an investor and also broker private money with Chambliss Mortgage. Sorry, I don't have a camera on. I'm up here laid up in the bed, my foot twisted. So jumped on the call and everything. So I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome, sir. Next up, we have Mr. Doug. Come on in, sir. Where you calling in from, who you are, what do you do for a living, sir?
I think I'm in.
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing? My name is Douglas Woods, from New Orleans. I'm a retirement and life insurance advisor, and I'm also a real estate investor. Coming on, trying to get some info. I have a lot of investors I work with, trying to make sure I point them in the right direction. They've been running into a lot of problems, finding funds, to try to close on deals and get the ball rolling. So, just trying to see how I can navigate them over.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome, Doug. What you do matters, sir. Absolutely. Next up, who we have? iPhone came on in. Come on in, iPhone. Tell us who you are. What do you do for a living, sir?
Hey Randy, this is Dent Hunter. How you doing? How you doing? Second week in my training, and now I'm a contractor here in the city of New Orleans. Do a lot of consulting and inspections and things of that sort. So kind of rounding my book out, and me and Randy talked about that the other day with being able to provide funding to some of the customers that I use here, here in New Orleans, and spread my wings throughout this United States since we have such a broad opportunity here. So that's what I'm in. I'm happy. I'm listening a lot, and, just kind of sinking it all in and, ready to, burst once I get all this education inside me. That's all.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome. Welcome, Mr. Dent. Pleasure. What you do matters, my friend. So next up, Mr. JD Flowers. Come on in, sir. Tell us who you are. What do you do for a living?
Hi, I'm JD Fowler from Baltimore, Maryland. I do apologize. I'm having some work done in my home, so everything is in disarray. So that's why I'm not on camera. But I am working with this company through Miss Patricia Gail. I am in training as a loan officer, working with some people who are quite excited about what this company has to offer. And I just want to say to you, Randy, and to Miss Patricia Gail, that these Tuesday nights have been empowering, and they have been informative, and for many people, I believe it will be life-changing. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. That feedback helps. Keeps me and Miss Patricia and the rest of the team fired up because that's our attention. Our attention is really to provide value, right? That said, Miss Barbara, come on in. Happy Tuesday. Tell us who you are, where you calling in from, Miss Barbara.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, I am Barbara Solomon Johnson. I'm calling in from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I'm really on here representing Mr. Hillary Johnson of J Hill Construction and Shepherd Properties. Both companies are involved in residential construction, whether it be fixed, rehabbing or remodeling, as well as new construction. And so they are really wanting to get involved in taking care of the affordable home shortage here in the city and in the state. So that's why I'm on the call, just gathering information for them. And
awesome.
Looking for a great job with it too, Miss Barbara.
Thank you.
Right.
With your help, I need your help.
Well, welcome, Ms. Barbara. And next up, we have Norman's iPhone. Norman's iPhone. Come on in. Tell us who you are, where you calling in from, Norman. Make sure you unmute yourself. All right, so we'll come back. Let's go to Miss Kim. Miss Kim, tell us where you're calling in from, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Loud and clear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just got in from work. I'm trying to get in the Zoom meeting and put up groceries.
You're in here. You are in here.
Okay. I'm calling from Pensacola, Florida.
Yes.
And I actually go to church in Mobile at the City of Worship Center. I'm actually a licensed realtor, licensed in Florida and in Alabama.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the call, Ms. Kim. Look forward to seeing you and everybody else on this call. Again, I mentioned at the very beginning, this is our last call for the month of November. Ms. Tricia, this is what, the 5th call?
This is our 7th.
What?
Yes,
Wow.
sir. It's our 7th.
7th mastermind call. And just think, all this came from a vision. It was just a vision from Miss Patricia and I, and that vision had came to pass. So listen, today's topic, right? I want you to write this down if you haven't had a chance to. Today's topic is revealing the private money loan submission process. Revealing the private money loan submission process to ensure a fast closing. Now, if you think about the past 6 mastermind trainings that we have, every one of them kind of built on top of the other one, right? We set the foundation dealing with thinking and mindset, proper expectations, then we took it to another level. Then the next one, we took it to another level. Then one, we had the 4 critical underwriting secrets that we looked, that was those 4 C's. Last week, we talked about the formulas that we use and you should use, we recommend to make sure you have a profitable deal. Well, now that we have the proper mindset, now that we know what the 4 underwriting C's are, right? Now that we know what those formulas we should be using, now we're going to take it up to a next step, hit that notch, another one. That is knowing how to submit a loan, what that process is. Because with Chambliss Mortgage Capital, we have closed loans in 14 days. Like we have done that. I'm not saying that we do it all the time because there's a lot of variables in place. And most of the 80% of those variables, I probably would say 60% of those variables is going to be the borrower. How quickly and efficiently they could give us the documents we need. So before I jump into the training, before me and Patricia really dive deep and unpack this thing, Ms. Patricia, can you come on and just kind of share some announcement and also share, some updates in our market in real estate?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Randy, and welcome everybody. Thank you for coming on, sacrificing your time. I tell you, it's been amazing, the information that you all have been gathering and implementing. And I can tell that by your applications. So I want to congratulate you that are coming on for learning, that have been here 7 sections, 6 episodes, 5 episodes, 4 episodes. If this is your first episode, we welcome you. It's not too late. You're right on time. So I'm going to really take my time for a moment tonight and try to dive into a summary that will carry you over into a momentum that we are establishing unstoppable. I need you to hear that, unstoppable. Mr. Randy asked me to share about the real estate economy. And we all know there's been a shift, there's been a transition. We all know that everybody's, questioning and wondering and pondering. But can I tell you, Chambliss Mortgage Capital, private money investor loans, is recession proof. It's recession proof. So regardless of what happened in the economy, regardless of what happened on the news, regardless of what you hear and what you're experiencing, it will not affect the strategies and plans that we have for you. I'm going to prove it. He's going to prove it. So when we talk about the economy in real estate, it's an area of production. And what's the terms? It's supply and demand. If ever there was a shortage for housing, now and forthcoming it is. What does that mean? Why we are so appreciative of you coming on to be investors? Because you are the solution to the housing problem. Every property that you acquire through Chambliss Mortgage Capital acquisition costs, every property that you rehab, that you build from ground up, that you fix and flip, all your portfolios, you are the solution by providing affordable, attainable housing to those who typically will not be able to get it. I heard someone say earlier tonight about the difficulty in getting funding. And we know that. That's what I told Mr. Randy. I said, man, I'm not sleeping. And I'm not saying that's not good. I'm saying that's great. Because the revelation that's coming and the impartation that's coming. I mean, we have our Friday night brain mastermind shift information he's pouring into it. And the manifestation that is coming forth, y'all, is tangible. This not no pie in the sky. Oh, I'm gonna come get this information. And that's it. Information, revelation, application, implementation. Now, I'm gonna share a screen for me. If y'all ready, say I'm ready. Talk to me. And make sure you're there and alert.
Ready.
Ready.
All right. This is some of a recap for those of you that have been on here, but some have not. And sometimes, if you like me, I got to hear stuff 2-3 times to really process it and get it. So Chambliss Mortgage Capital, we provide funding for real estate investment properties only, meaning that it's not for individuals that's going to live in the property. All right, we have all type of houses, fourplexes, ground up, all that. Okay, now what we want you to remember is that we underwrite and approve loans based on the property's value. I need somebody to say, it's not me, it's the property. I need somebody to say that. Type it, chat it, announce it, say it's not on me, it's on the property. Come on, students.
It's not me, it's the property.
All right.
It's not me, it's the property.
All right.
Okay.
That's good. So that takes the doubt and unbelief out and the stagnation in the market away that's been having people hindered, waiting on the government, waiting on the nonprofit, waiting on this and that to move forward. We can go forward and take your community, because we are approving loans based on the property's value, or the potential profit and cash flow, rather than the borrower's personal monthly income and expenses, debt to income rate. True asset-based lending. When we say the property may need some repair, we do 100% of the rehab costs, so you can make the community new again. You can find distressed properties that need work that nobody else will touch, and share and empower not only yourself, but those of you that talked about generational wealth, improving the community. You can make the difference. I'm going to say it again. You are the solution. We are the solution to the housing problem. It was said that, get my notes. Is there going to be a recession? You know, with the changing of the guard and everything. I'm going to tell you again, we recession proof. God ain't making no more land. And those houses, apartment buildings, commercial buildings that are out there need you to come and say, hey, I'm about to make you new again. That means that that property could be used to be for rental, to be fixed and flipped, to be I'm sorry, just distracted. Fix and flip, new construction, or sold. Okay, so one property you can do 1 or 2 or 3 things with. Now, don't limit yourself to say you just could do one property, because it's not based on you. It's based on what? It's based on the property. So if you have 2 properties that's going to generate a cash flow, and as Mr. Randy always says, make sense, hey, bring it on. If it don't make sense, we'll let you know real quick. So the market updates is the housing stock inventory shortage for affordable housing, for housing that people could attain. Now, y'all see, I don't have to tell y'all what's going on the news. That's not something I do. You already know about that. Let me tell you about some good news. The good news is there is an inventory, pipelines of properties, abandoned properties, adjudicated properties, that's properties taken because somebody didn't pay the tax. Distressed properties, properties that need some repair. Foreclosed properties, properties that somebody lost because of a hardship, they couldn't pay their note. Property settlement, somebody died, divorce, and they got to split the property. One can't have half, another half. No. Real estate owned property, successions. All these are categories of inventory that we're going to teach you how to tap into to get those properties to put in your real estate portfolio. That's why I can say with confidence, you are the solution. You are the solution. Now, let me say this to you. Hold on a minute, I lost my way. I'm on a different platform and it's telling on me. There we go. So understanding the roles, Mr. Randy is going to go through the process in a moment. But if you remember this, that there are components of each transaction, we can approve the property, the loan transaction that you turn into us properly within 72 hours that you give us the paperwork. Tax return? Nope, I didn't say tax return. Your LLC or corporate entity, your ID that we could see, that's clear. And 2 months bank statements showing that you have the cash to close. That's all we ask you for. My God, that in itself opens a whole array of opportunities. Then once we get that in, you give us your development or that you want to build, acquire, flip and sell. We're going to have the appraisal, insurance, and title. So remember that, B, background check, appraisal, insurance, title. We don't know how long that's going to take. But on the average, we're closing 21 days. We say 30 days just in case it takes somebody too long to get us documentation. In case there's a storm and the power going out. We don't know what's getting ready to happen in the next few weeks. But we still going to be rocking and rolling. That's what you can be encouraged by. Why? Because we have the money. We have the capital to loan you. We don't have to go somewhere and wait on some bill to be passed. And, oh, let me not go there. I don't have that much time. Jesus. I told you I've been up since, maybe I didn't tell you, I've been up since 3. I ain't had no sleep, so I might be real wild tonight. But let me tell you something before I pass this on. The reason that I've been up for 3, because we're going to have a come see for yourself live in 25. Come see for yourself. You've been on these Zoom meetings 7 times, some of you, but we're going to gather. And I'm going to show you some things. Randy, we're going to get together in Real Estate Investor Mastermind in 2025. You have to understand, if we don't have a strategy to walk and lead you out of here, we fall in the category where those don't know what's going on. We got strategies, we got plans, and we'll implement them to help you be successful. So I want you to save the dates for those of you that's interested. Now, I just kind of browsed over the summary, the real estate market. We're coming to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Miss Collins. Somebody else on here was from Baton Rouge. Hands-on mentorship, hands-on scripts, dialogues, everything you need. My goal and my mandate, my commitment to those that's on the A team is that you have $1 million worth of real estate in your pipeline within 6 months. I really extended it. Why? Because Mr. Randy has put a mandate on me of certain things that are manifesting and it's happening. I'm like, oh, this worked like this. Now, what does that equate to? $1 million worth of real estate in the pipeline for you? That equates to $25,000. That's what it equates to. I don't know if some of y'all need that or not in a 6-month period. I don't know. But if you do, I encourage you to come. We're going to limit the capacity so that I can have hands-on. But this is what's 2 o'clock this morning. The Lord woke me up. Well, I wasn't asleep, but he showed me, he said, take it to the streets. And in that area where my television studio is, there's gentrification where they've taken over homes on one area, and there are homes that need to be rehabbed on another area. I don't know if he's on here or not. I can't see right now. Mr. Triggs, we just closed on 23 houses that we're redoing in that area. You'll be able to see that. You'll be able to see that Chambliss mortgage capital, we're loaning money. We're doing transactions. You can taste, touch, and feel. Oh, yeah, we're going to feed you real good, too. I'm from Louisiana. Love some good food. But anyway, that's just a sidebar. Y'all not interested in that. I encourage you to be there. I'm limited to 35 candidates so that I can effectively help you. Now, look, I'm not saying wait to January 18 to 20 before you get a transaction. Hopefully, all of you, we've been saying this the whole time, will have a transaction going like some of you do now before the end of this month. The day is the what? The 12th? We got to the 3rd. It take us 21 days to do a transaction. We're not going to procrastinate. You're not going to procrastinate. No excuses. God's God all flesh. And nothing too hard for you. Don't start me to preaching tonight. But you can't be lazy with this. You got to execute and work towards the goal of what you say you want. And we're not depending on, and you don't have to depend on some other entity to make it happen. You're already in the zone, people. Okay, here we go. Real Estate Investor Mastermind, Mr. Randy's is doing a phenomenal job in bringing information to y'all. He's working hard, y'all. I don't know if y'all been in the community or watching the podcast. I'm like, whoa, he is doing it. And so I can work and submit to somebody that's committed like he is. Okay, when I say $1 million, that's nothing. Oh, you need to get that out your mind. That's why we call it mastermind, that you can't attain it. That's nothing. Chump change. We was on a conference call today. This brother making so many $1 million a month. Money, 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 money. This is what we're going to do in the in-person mastermind in Baton Rouge, hands-on education and training for investment properties, showing you the calculations. Last week, Mr. Randy went through a lot of numbers, a lot of calculations. First time some of y'all heard it, some of you had to keep up with it, whatever. We're going to have it right there, black and white for you, so you'll be able to do it. We be on these calls for an hour. We extended it to an hour and a half because we want to respect your time. Like one lady said, first time, look, I just got in here with groceries. I know she tired, so we're going to get off of here on time. Because we wanted you to come back, and you all have done exceptionally well. Some of you have been on here almost every two. I commend you all and thank you. We're going to have a lunch and learn how to identify distressed properties, hidden treasures in the communities. Someone was out with someone this weekend, and we were riding. And Lord, my eyes, I was just pointing. Oh, we could do that. Or we could rehab that store right here. Oh, that's your grandmother's house. Or we could get her money. You see what I'm saying? You got to have that energy. I've been in real estate 45 years, and that's all they told us. Real estate, real estate, real estate. Eat it, sleep it, drink it, all of that. Real estate. Now I'm saying invest, 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 invest. Investment property. We're going to actually take you on a tour to some on-site rehabs. Miss Barbara, hopefully we'll have that new construction going by then for Mr. Johnson. We're going to do some fix and flips funded by Chambliss Mortgage Capital. We're going to show you actual properties that we have funded so that you can be encouraged. Your faith will not be hindered. No doubt will come on and say, you can't do it. Oh, yeah, you can do it. We're going to give you some role-playing scripts to negotiate. We're going to role-play right there with you. Oh, Lord, when you leave out at it this weekend, Mr. Rad, you better get you some assistants because they're going to be fired up. Go and get them properties, executing them contractors, and going to the bank. Oh, yeah. We're going to give you negotiating strategies with property owners, how to make the offers. We're going to I talked to a legal part when we closed on a transaction the other week. I was sitting there talking to the title company, and the attorney was talking about the successions and how many they have to do and things that hold it up. So we're going to have the attorneys in there to talk about a section. And last but not least, we're going to do some avoiding the pitfalls of taxes. Because when you're making a lot of money, you got to know how to manage that money with taxes. Ask me how I know. Made all that money. And I asked my tax person, I say, how I owed all these taxes? She said, you made all that money. Well, now you tell me. I was running from the IRS about 5 years. Oh, yes, I was. I didn't want to go to jail. And say, every time it say, if you owe IRS more than $25,000, we're going to seize your account. We're going to get. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, help me get out of this. He has. So I have a responsibility to you to help you go to the next level, to help you to increase your net worth. That's what Mr. Rand is about. He spends a lot of time acquiring the capital, adding to it. Myself and other branch managers and loan officers and training, then our responsibility is help him spend it. Oh, you give me an open checkbook? Oh, really? With billions of dollars? Oh, okay, we could do this. I live on the Gulf. I love to go out there and look at them condos. I'm going to own you in not many days hence, where you're netting $10,000 a month because you got a condo that's an Airbnb. Are y'all hearing me? Is anybody still out there? I don't hear no amen.
I hear you.
We hear you, Patricia. We hear you over there preaching. Go ahead.
Loud and clear.
What? Amen. Amen, Pastor.
I ain't seen no chats or nothing. I was like, Lord, is this thing still working? Okay. All right, that's good enough for me.
Go to your emojis and find that fire and just start putting fire in that emoji section. Just click on that little emoji, scroll down, you'll see that little fire and start sticking that little fire.
Right. That's it. Let's get ignited, man. This is real. This is our studio in Baton Rouge. Miss Collins has been there, and I don't know who else is on here, where we had our 4th year anniversary. And this is where we're going to have. This is where we're going to have our real estate investors mastermind workshop. right here.
I know where you are.
I've been to New Orleans last week. Mary talking about I'm going to hotels and look for a meeting room and all that. And the Lord told me, oh no, you go right there to that studio. I'm like, oh, okay, then we're going to do that. I put this together, send it to Mr. Randy for an approval. He said, go for it. Oh Lord, everything booked. If the only thing I don't have is the food, because I couldn't talk to the caterer at 4:00 this morning, but I will. And so there is a charge, not for the mastermind, but we want to feed you. So we're going to have 5 meals during that time, and we're going to have transportation to take you on the tour and everything. So that costs money. So anyway, that's what it is. So we want boots on the ground. I'm not saying all the Chambliss Mortgage Capital strategic plan on here tonight. Do y'all think we just fell off the back of an Apple truck? Because some of y'all behind them cameras, we don't know who behind them cameras listening. Some of y'all got people behind them cameras peeping. So guess what? We ain't telling you everything. Ha, ha, ha. But when you come in that setting, we're going to open up wide. We opening up which you already know. So you'll have to do your own accommodations, travel. We'll offer a 10% discount on Marriott hotels. Or you can use my discount code MF. If you all think y'all coming, then you need to get online, Marriott.com, and book your hotel in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as soon as possible, because there are only so many rooms with a discount. And I'm not blocking no rooms, being responsible for people coming. That's too much stress. I don't have time. Oh, you coming because we're going to lose the block. No, get on there and book it if this is of value to you. If you want to know what Marriott hotel, it'll be the zip code 70802 or 70806. That's what's near the where we're going to have the session. And then the airports of Baton Rouge and New Orleans Airport. You want to do this? I'm asking for a $55 to reserve your space by the end of the month. I need to know you're serious. That's all I have, Mr. Randy.
Awesome. So if you guys like the idea, right? You like the idea to have an in-person real estate investor mastermind, then do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat. We're going to keep it simple. Just put a 1 in the chat. Let me see those ones. Awesome. I love it. So thank you, Ms. Patricia. Certainly I want to give it back to you. You put in a lot of work in planning, and kudos, because you've been doing this a while. You know what to do, how to do, and what not to do. So I'm excited, guys. Make sure that you do register, reach out to Ms. Patricia so you can lock your spots in. So today, remember, if you are taking notes, we're going to be talking about the topic, revealing the private money loan submission, loan process, ensuring that you can actually create a fast closing, right? So I was driving earlier today. I had a phone call. Phone call came in. I wasn't able to answer it. A text came in immediately afterwards. Call the person back. It was a young lady. She said, Randy, I was referred to you. I am a real estate investor, have a couple of properties, but we're looking to expand. You was referred to me. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, awesome. I also said, tell me about your goals. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? She said, well, I have a couple of things. One, I have a property that I want to purchase, rehab, and hold for cash flow. 2, I have a small commercial building. It's like a mixed use I want to obtain. But more importantly, I literally have a contract right now, a purchase agreement that's signed and dated, and it's a property that's already in moving condition. Matter of fact, there's a landlord, there's a lease on it already. I said, okay, awesome. I said, well, tell me, where did you go try to get financing from? What made you decide to come talk to me? She said, well, I was referred to you by my realtor, because at the end of the day, the bank that I was going through, they was asking me for 12 months of bank statements. I said, okay. She couldn't figure out the why. I know the why. I said, okay. I said, well, they're looking to verify your income because she's self-employed. She's an entrepreneur. And so my point of saying that story is that the bank is looking and requesting for 12 months bank statement. They're going to pull all her tax returns to be able to find out, can she personally afford the deal? However, she personally is not going to be paying for the mortgage. The property itself that's going to be cash flowing from the tenant is going to be paying for the mortgage. So when I tell you, the only thing that I mentioned to her after I shared what our product is and who we are, why we do what we do, she mentioned she had an LLC, but she never used it before. She'd been holding title in all her personal names and all the properties she had. Well, we're going to protect her now. We're going to protect you from those potential hazards that's out there by allowing you to be able to hold title, put the application, and the insurance policy all in your LLC name for your protection. So lo and behold, I just basically, this is the next step. Text me your full name and your email address. I'm gonna get that application over to you so we can get this thing closed. Was a no hesitation, right? And so oftentimes that's what we see in the marketplace. People, individuals, just been conditioned over the years to go to the traditional banks. I get it. Like we all have done that. Like, haven't you ever went to the bank for an auto loan, for a home loan, for any type of business loan? We've been there because that's the natural thing to do. And all we saying is, I want you to think bigger. That's options that's out there. We was able to lock down a private credit fund that has funded over $10 billion with a B in over the last 10 years with strictly investment properties. And like Miss Patricia mentioned earlier, we always looking for new capital. Miss Patricia and I was on a three-way call earlier today with a gentleman. Over the last 8 years, he have earned this, not like a gross selling product, but literally net earned over $15 million, right? Well, do you think that he want a place to place that money where he can earn interest on that money that's in a safe place that is protected? Everybody nods their heads, say yes, he does. So that's why we make those strategic partnerships so we don't run out of capital. So when I'm telling you, what we are in is something different, something unique, and now I'm going to show you how you can get these deals funded and flowing through properly, right? So let me step you through the simplicity of it. The first thing is first. When you have an opportunity that's in your hand, you found an off-market product, on-market product, but it's a good deal, it's wholesale price. The first thing you want to do is talk to one of our private money loan officers. You want to talk to one of our branch managers. You want to talk to that person you connected with and say, listen, here's the opportunity, here's the numbers. You know what they're going to ask you? If you're always on that last call and taking notes, right? You know what they're going to ask you? They're going to ask you, okay, great, tell me about the deal. What's the after repair value? What's the purchase price? They need rehab? What's the rehab budget? Awesome. Sounds like a plan. Listen, let me ask you, what's your FICO score? Have you pulled it recently? Awesome. Okay. They're also going to ask you, how much do you have saved up so far that you invested into the property? Now, if you come back and say, I got $25,000, may not work for you, right? You're not ready just yet. Go find a business partner or increase those savings, right? But the first step is that consultation, because that person is trained, is skilled, and developed to walk you through and say, yes, we can go to the next step, or no, you can't right now, but here's why. But more important, here's some action steps, some practical action steps you could take right here, right now, so you could be ready, right? And so that's the first step, is the consultation on that phone, in person, or even via Zoom, whatever the convenience is. The next thing, once you are told, yep, I think this could work, let's move forward, that professional is going to email you that application. It's just a simple 2-page application. It's clickable. You can fill on. It's a PDF form. You don't need to download it. You don't need to print it out. You don't need to sign it. We just need the details. Everything that you told us verbally, like we talking to people all day, every day, we ain't gonna remember that. So everything you told us verbally, we just need to put it in writing so we could go back and in retrospect and say, okay, this is what this deal looked like, right? And then in that same email, there's going to be a body email with a couple of documents, a couple of lists of things that we need. Not a whole lot, just simple stuff. Number one, a clear copy of your ID. That makes sense, right? To know you are who you say you are, right? Number two, we're going to need an application like we talked about to give us the details of that property that you're looking to purchase. Next, we're gonna want 60 days of bank statements. Now, not the first page. That bank statement say page 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, 4 of 4. Then we need all 4 pages, right? So all 4 pages last 60 days, right? Full 60 days. The purpose, we just want to confirm before we go off into the sunset that you actually have enough cash to close, right? And it's not that you're a bad person or you're dishonest, that we've seen and experienced some things in the past that we want to avoid. It's all about what? Getting better. We don't want surprises. And I'm sure you don't want surprises neither. That's why we be as transparent as possible up front. So the last 60 days of your bank statement, all pages, clear copy of your ID, the application filled out appropriately and properly, right? And then also we're looking for your business entity documents. If you have an LLC, then we need your articles of organization. All pages, not the first page with the seal on top, all pages. Why? I'm gonna give you the logic behind it. The reason why we're looking for the articles of organization, because we wanna see who the members are. Is it just you as a member, you the manager and member? Or is you the manager and there's 5 other members? We need to know that, because depending on the percentage of that individual, we're gonna require all of them to be a guarantor on the loan. You heard me mention it before that number 1, your LLC or your business entity is going to be on title, it's going to be on the application, it's going to be on the insurance documents, but the people in the background of that LLC, the members, they're all personal guarantees on the loan. So if that LLC does not pay, then you're responsible for paying that debt. That just makes sense. That's fair, right? We being good stewards of the money that we lend. Now, for some different strategies we could help out if somebody have a really low credit score, my team is trained to say, okay, this is some strategy that we might be able to help to be able to solve that problem. So that's the reason why we want those articles of organization. And we also want a track record, right? We want to know, hey, are you brand new or do you have some experience? Now, if you're buying a property that's already ready to rock and roll, is already rentable already, right? Then you don't need experience. You're okay with that. If you are a first time buying a fix and flip property, right? It's okay. We can fund it. It's okay to be a first time borrower. But it's not okay what we like to call lopsided deals. What a lopsided deal means that you buying a property for, let's say, $70,000, but the rehab is $140,000. We call it a lopsided deal, meaning that your rehab construction budget is more than your purchase price. For that first time buyer, that first time investor who's fixing and flipping, we like to see the opposite. And if you're buying this property for $100,000, then maybe about $50,000, that's something that's manageable for you for your first deal. Then as you get better and better, then you go increase it. Now, will we lend money on somebody who's brand new that may have $100,000 purchase price, maybe an $80,000, $60,000 budget for rehab? Yeah, we can. But just keep that in mind. No lopsided deals we're looking for, because it becomes way too risky, right? Now, if you have a business partner who have experience, right, then we can consider that, right? That's called heavy rehabs. So now the track record for new construction. If you're going to be a developer, you're developing from the ground up, typically the new construction, let's say if it's an 1,800 square feet home, what I'm seeing out there is a good $250,000 bill cost, right? Or more, depending on the value that you bring to the market. But if this person is a brand new investor, a brand new developer building from the ground up, that's a lot of hurdles that they have to get over. They got to get permits, they got to get architect designs, they got to confirm it's not in the zoning area, they got to put pilings down. It's a lot. And so to protect them, we want to make sure that they have that experience. So if you don't, if you know somebody that's looking to build new construction from the ground up and they have not done one, then they're not going to be allowed to do it in the platform that we have. However, if they partner up with a seasoned builder, with a seasoned developer, and have that mentor and ready to go, then we can actually fund their deal as long as that mentor is on the loan, if that makes sense. So let's recap right quick. The documentation we need. Simple things, application, clear copy of your ID, last 2 months of bank statements, a little track record to show the experience, and then also your business entity. Now, we all can admit that is light documentation. Light documentation. Notice we didn't ask for tax return for the last 2 years. We didn't ask for pay stubs. We didn't ask for the last W-2s for the last couple of years. So here's what people experience when they go into that mortgage company and that bank. The mortgage company and bank say, hey, you're self-employed. I need to see your taxes. You bring the taxes to them. They say, oh, you only showed $10,000 that you earned last year. And you showed $12,000 that you earned the year before. You're not making no money. And that person like, no, I'm making money. Like I made $100,000 year one, year two, I made $150,000. But due to taxes, I'm not showing that on my taxes. Well, from a banker and that traditional mortgage company, they frown on that and say, no, your taxes not showing no income. You can't afford this investment property. Even though that you got a lease on it, Section 8 tenant ready to go, it doesn't matter. The answer is, get your taxes together. So all of a sudden, they get referred to a tax professional. That tax professional look at their documents, touch bases with their loan officer and say, hey, how much do they need to show to get approved? The loan officer, not knowing no better, well, you know what? They need to make about $75,000 for year one, $77,000 for year two, because they got to show an increase from year to year. Say, okay, cool, got it. 75,000, 76,000. Somebody do the math. Give me a calculator. So take $70,000 income and times that by, say, the average person who's not an entrepreneur, just working. Let's just say they're in a 30% tax bracket. They times 30%. That's about $21,000 that they're going to owe in IRS taxes just because they amended their taxes to get this loan from the bank. About $21,000 because their banker told them they need to get $75,000 earned income year one, $77,000 earned income year two, and that's the way you're going to qualify for this potential loan. Now, they haven't even been to the underwriter yet. That's not even a guaranteed thing. So now they file those taxes. It's at the IRS, but we didn't even talk about year two. Year two, going to take that $77,000 times 30%, and then they'll probably add another $22,000 they owe the IRS. So you combine those together, that's almost what? $45,000 that they owe in taxes just to try to get approved for investment property? No. Tell the banks and the mortgage company they can keep that because we're rocking with private capital. We know better. We don't have to go through those headaches. We don't. So now you understand those light documentations that we need. So let me bring it down to I'm gonna go up. Let's go bring it up to the next step. Your person, your professional that you're working with, that private money lender that you're working with, they're gonna take those documents you give them. Now, this could take 24 hours. If you get the email at 12 o'clock on Friday, then at least 12 o'clock by Saturday, you should have everything over to that professional in one email, not in 3, 4, 5, 6 email, one email with an attachment with all PDFs, no photos, right? .PDFs. As simple, as professional, as easy, because we can load that into our system, put that in our file, simple and easy. So you take 24 hours or less, then boom, those documents could get reviewed quickly and be able to get back to you with the next step. But if it take you 3 days, 4 days, 5 days to get these simple 4 light documents, then you're delaying the process. You want to move fast. You want to be quick. You want to be moving quick. And that's part of the C's. One of the 4 C's we talked about before is character. So the question is, if you delay and you procrastinate and just giving us documents, would you delay and procrastinate on the mortgage payment? Like, how long are you going to take it to get these little documents? So now let's assume by these best practices that you're learning, boom, you got those documents into your private money professional, right? They have that file, it's toward the file. Guess what? They're reaching out to me. They're saying, Randy, here's what we have. Here's the ARV, here's the purchase price, here's the credit score, here's the exit strategy you're looking to buy it, rehab it. They're not going to sell it, Randy. They're going to refinance and keep it for cash flow. Here is the property address. Here's the ID. Here's the bank statement. Here's the track record. Here's the business entity. Take a look at it. Cool. Now, my wife and I, we can stop what we're doing so busy. Whatever we're doing, we can stop and say, okay, let's go check this out. The loan process is going to go double check it, right? And we got this full package. But if this piece together is not complete, we're not going to waste our time on it because we're too busy doing other stuff. We got to be efficient and effective. So now, once we look at the documents, and assuming you have everything ready to go, then we can say, oh, yep, this looked like something that we would love to fund. It's profitable. It makes sense. Let's go. From that standpoint, we're going to issue a conditional preliminary term sheet, and you will have access to that from your private money professional. And all you have to do is read over. It's going to tell you the terms. Here's your interest rate. Here's the down payment you expect to.
Yeah, let me call you right back. The call's still going on. All right.
Here's the fees from the title company, estimate fees, right? Here's the estimate, etc. So now you get to look at that and say, okay, here's my potential cash to close. This makes sense. I like it. You go and double check your numbers, make sure it's a profitable deal on your end. And the next step is you say, hey, let's go. Now, here's where the fun starts, right? Here's where the fun starts. Once you say, hey, let's go, let's move forward, immediately our team is in the background working on your behalf. You're not going to see that loan processor or loan processors. Oftentimes, they may not need anything because if you did what you needed to do up front, they have everything. So what they're doing is they're trained to reach out to the title company and order the title. They're trained to reach out to your insurance agent and order the insurance. We give them certain instructions and say, hey, we need this, this, and that, do this, that, and this. We're giving them instructions. And then not only that, we're going to reach out to those 2 entities, but we also going to order that appraisal. The appraiser is a third-party company. It's a management company. We don't know who the appraiser is, who's coming. We don't know. It's a third-party company. We say, hey, listen, we need an appraiser out to ABC Main Street in Baton Rouge. Whoever's in that area that's available, they're going to pull that work order in. They're going to accept it, and then they're off to the races. Now, this is your first cost. I want you to remember that. This is your first cost, which is a third-party fee to the appraisal management company. That appraiser fee, depending on the square feet of the home, might be $650, maybe $600. I don't know, depending on the square feet of the property. But think about that. Look what all that happened in this short period of time. You have your loan application with all your documents. You have a conditional preliminary term sheet that you reviewed and you okayed it. We have ordered the title company, ordered the title from the title company, we ordered insurance, and we ordered appraisal. That's a beautiful thing. Well, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't have the contact information for your title company, how can our team reach out to your title company? If we don't have the contact information for your insurance agent, meaning name, email address, telephone number, name of the company, how can we reach out to your insurance agent? That makes sense? If it makes sense, put a 2 in the chat, everybody. Put a 2 in the chat if it makes sense, right? I want to make sure we're on the same page. Awesome, awesome. I love it. I love it, love it. What up, Miss Stephanie? Welcome, man. Welcome, welcome. So now that we have that information from you, we're making those orders. So only thing we're waiting for that documentation to come back. We're waiting for the title company to come back and say, Mr. Chambliss, team, the title look good. It's a clean title and we're able to get title insurance so we can move forward. Great. Check number one. The insurance company come back and say, yep, we have the insurance quote. We can insure this property. Looks good. Check, that's done. The appraisal report comes in. The numbers look good, just like you was trained, like you was skilled, trained, and developed to know how after repair value would look. Boom, the appraiser come in, and praise well. Another check. Boom. Those three things is done. So now we have all your documents in. We have a complete package at that point. Complete package. Now that could be done in 10 days. It can be done in 10 days. Don't take that long. So all of a sudden, now we got the complete package. I'm going to review it again, make sure we checked everything. I'm going to hand that over to the underwriter. The underwriter, him or her, going to check everything. And then if all is well, boom, we're going to send that off to our committee. So the committee look at and reviews these files 2-3 times a week. And once they look at it, all the guidelines is done, check, 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 check. They're going to be like, okay, we're going to agree to fund this deal. Come on, let's go. At that point, we'll let you know, hey, we have agreed to fund. At that time, we're going to turn it over to our third-party attorney. That third-party attorney is going to reach out to your title company, create the documentation, create the mortgage, create the promissory note, double-check everything again, like we ain't playing, like we got to, we didn't see too many things, right? So they double-checking again, and then once they balance, we're going back and forth to make sure, and we creating that HUD settlement statement. We don't use CDs, closing disclosure. We don't use, that's for consumer loans. We use HUD settlement statements, which is business loan, commercial lending, right? So now that's it. The only thing we're doing at that point is scheduling that close date. Like Ms. Patricia mentioned earlier, one of the gentlemen that was on a call last week, he made a public announcement. He said, listen, I'm excited to be here. I've been here many times. I'm fired up, but I'm more fired up and excited when we close tomorrow. I have 23 properties that we're closing in the Baton Rouge area. I'm excited. Guess what we did, ladies and gentlemen? We closed that loan. That's probably why he ain't on the call tonight. He in there rehabbing that thing. he getting it done, right? He moving because he seasoned. He know what to do. He know how to do it. He know how to manage properties, and he's running. He's running, trying to get these things done. So that's why it's so important. I say it all the time, guys. This is not just about Chambliss Mortgage Capital. Ms. Patricia said on the phone earlier, and I'm going to reiterate that for everybody. Building wealth is a team sport. I'll say that again. Building wealth. Somebody type that in the chat, matter of fact. Type that in the chat. Building wealth is a team sport. That's why we decided to create this mastermind. Because it's a team. You cannot build wealth on your own. It's not possible. The gentleman that earned $15 million over the last 8 years, he's only 34, 35 years old. And it took a team for him to do that. Where I get my philosophy for, because I've been working with a Citibank company before. I've been working for traditional mortgage company before. The last mortgage company I'm with, the gentleman, the CEO, he had over 700 loan officers with 125 branch managers. It took a team for him. You know what he do? He just fly around in the jet all day long from East Coast to West Coast. That's what he do. But it took a team to do it. And that's why I'm so focused, so dedicated to building a team. But I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to be a little bit in your face, and I want you guys to write this in the chat. And I want to be respectful as possible. We only want to work with good humans. Chambliss Mortgage Capital, CMC, only want to work with good humans. If you're not a good human, you have malice in your heart, this is not the platform for you. Why? because we have too many dollars at risk. So if you being in a space that you're trying to maneuver, trying to manipulate, this is not for you. If you're not about helping your community, meaning that what our social impact is, our social impact is simple. The purpose is simple. You heard me say it earlier. Is we're going to develop, and we're already doing it, I should say, we're developing more home buyers and real estate investors so they could go out and create more affordable and workforce housing so we could prevent and reduce homelessness in the communities we work in. It's just that simple. So in order to hit that vision, then we have to provide comprehensive education like we've been doing for the last 7 episodes. Like I've been doing for the last 5 podcasts. From the meetups, from the I Believe experiences, helping with proper mindset. The reason why we do these things, because we want to give you the comprehensive education. Second part is to give you the expert guidance. You can avoid the pitfall by working with us because we mentors. We're not just lending money. We're in the business. We're in the game. This is what we do. You heard Ms. Patricia say she's been doing this for 45 years. I've been studying personal development. I've been studying personal finances. I've been studying financial literacy and education and teaching it for 20 years myself. I've been investing in real estate, real life real estate, tangible assets since I was 26 years old. That's 18 years ago. I've been a mortgage loan originator that's licensed since 2008, I think it was, I can't remember, right? From that time to this time, we've helped countless home buyers get access to the education, help them to build their credit scores up, help them to lower down their debts, help them to create more cash flow so that way they can buy their home. Why? Why is that so important? Why financial literacy is so important? Well, when you go to the bank, a mortgage company, or anywhere, if your finances not together, you can't get in the game. You cannot help. So that's why it's so critical for us to give you the education for free. Notice we ain't charging nothing. We ain't charging nothing, none of these episodes. Because the more value that you bring, the more value that you have, you more knowledge will go find good profitable deals that you could bring to your private money lender, your private money professional. That way you could get them approved quickly, move on, close that deal, and then go to the next one. You could go to the next one. One of the gentlemen I was on the phone with earlier made a point, and I said I was going to use that. He said he was at church last week, and his pastor was talking. His pastor mentioned and said, listen, what is the ROI to God from you? What is the Most High God return on his investment for giving you grace, for giving you mercy, allowing you to be here above ground right now? What is he getting in return from you? Complaints? Disappointment, worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, depression? That's not what he's looking for. He wants you to think on these things, things that are good, things that are in good report, things that are lovely, things that are lovely. Think on these things. Each one, teach one, pass it on. So you want to put yourself in an environment of success. So let's recap. As I'm getting ready to close, we're going to open up for questions. Recap. First thing is to go find a profitable deal. Run your numbers, make sure it makes sense. 2, you pick up the phone, call one of our professional private money lenders and have that consultation. Next, once you have the consultation, make sure you have your documents already ready to go. All you all on the call have an advantage already. You already know what documents you need. You don't even have to wait for them to tell you. Just go get your documents right now, put it in a little file on your computer, be ready to go. Your documents should be already prepared because you already know what to do and what you need. Once you get all your documents in order to your professional private money lender in one email and a PDF, then at that point, you'll get that conditional term sheet. Once you have that, make sure you have your insurance agent name, who you're going to rock with, your title company name and contact number you're going to rock with. Now, if you're in the the New Orleans market or Baton Rouge market, or you're in Alabama market, or you're in a market where any other our professional private money lenders are, we all know who the title company is that move quick. I don't like to work with every title company. Why? Because they're too slow. They procrastinate, or they don't have good communication. You email them, a process email, they don't email them back for 2-3 days. We got to pick up the phone, call them. But we try to avoid that. So we tried our best to choose the companies, the title companies that we know that's quick and fast, but mostly effective. But if we're not in that market, we don't know who that title company is. So we're going to need you to vet them. Get a referral before you use them. So that way we can move forward with them. And then once we have the appraisal report back, we have the insurance documents back, we have the title back, we have all your documents, we go on to the underwriter. Next step, we're going to get that clear to close, that fund, right? The agree to fund. Then after that, the title company going back and forth with the title company, with the attorney, I should say, and we're scheduling the closing. And all you have to do is just go do it again. That's it. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop right there. I hope you got some value. If you found some value, put me a 1 in the chat real quick. Just throw me a 1 in there. Let me see some ones. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna open up the call. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can write those questions in the chat as well. Or you can just unmute yourself and then ask it. And that's how we're gonna rock, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Randy. Phenomenal. I want to read the chat while they're getting ready to ask their questions. Okay. One person want to know, can we purchase in any state, or is the funding restricted? We fund in 40 states. 40 states. And you can go on our website and see those states. I put my website in the chat, Mr. Randy's website, Mr. Tony's, all of branch officers, managers. You can go on the website, chamblissmortgage.com, and see what the states are. The other question, not many tonight, is there a replay from last week? Yes, we're going to do all the replays. We're going to have 7 episodes, just waiting till we finish so that we can editing costs. So we could edit them all at one time. We got one more session, the first Tuesday in December. Write that date down now. Write that date down and link. So we get busy. Sometimes we may unfortunately don't send out the announcements as regular on time as you might need. But if you mark it down now, the first Tuesday in December, once we finish that, we'll have 8 episodes that you can look at through the community. You'll be able to watch it on ADDCT network television. It'll be in the video on demand so that you can look at it, share it, and look, don't just be gullible for knowledge. Some people just want the knowledge. There's more knowledge than the library. Let's put this to work. This work, he just broke it down. It's not difficult. If you already have a property and it needs rehab, then call me. Call one of us. We'll walk you through that. This is your first time. We want to walk you through it. We don't want you to try to stumble out here and do this by yourself. No, let us walk you through it from A to Z till you get your keys or get your checks. All right. Let's rebuild the community. Any other question? Okay, let me read the chat some more. Anybody else? I might unmute and ask your questions at any time. It's your time now.
Miss Patricia, hey Randy.
Hey Randy. Oh no, that's Tony.
Yeah. Hey Randy, question. Hey, I understand what you were saying earlier. Just for the people, just they might not understand. With the lady that had called you, she tried to go to the bank and to refer her to you. Sound like she has several properties going on. Can you clarify with the listeners on the call that each property they will need a down payment for each one? Either if you're doing a blanket wraparound loan or something like that?
Correct. Yep. Good question. A good statement. So yeah, so every property that you fund, that's going to have a down payment on it, right? So oftentimes, if they have multiple projects or properties, we could do one blanket. We call it a portfolio loan. That way, you have 15 properties underneath one loan, one mortgage payment, et cetera. So yes, we can do that. That's right.
Thank you, Randy. That gives some clarity. Thank you. Go ahead, Miss Patricia. You smoking. You running.
Good job, Mr. Goodfoot. Another question is, what is the exit strategy that you are seeking? I'm not really sure that question,
Good.
Mr. Randy. You could take that.
Yeah, good question. So it's either two options. Number one, you're going to be selling the property, right? That's an exit strategy, buying it, you rehabbing and you selling it. Or if you're going to use the BRRRR method, you're going to buy it, rehab it, rent it, and refinance. That's a next exit strategy to refinance out. So we do have 30 years fixed mortgages for your long-term deals, right? But oftentimes people find properties that's distressed, need a rehab, so they buy it at a deep discount, obviously, right? They rehab it, now it's worth more, they created more equity in the property, and the day they finish their last paintbrush stroke, they refinance. But always remember, rent it first, so we can use that rent as income to qualify. And then they go into a 30-year mortgage. So, yep, two exit strategies. That's what your exit strategies are.
Good evening, Will Palmer here. So what's your typical down payment requirement?
Great question. So it depends on your strategy. If it's a long-term buy and hold, depending on your FICO score, it could be 75% loan to value on your purchase, could be 80% LTV on the purchase. If it's a fix and flip property with a person that's brand new, haven't done it fix and flip before, then on the purchase side would probably be about 70-75% LTV on the purchase. The rehab budget is 100% financing, goes up into a third-party servicer. If that person is experienced, they have done 3-4 flips, maybe 6 flips before, they're successful. That's why we have the track record. Then we may be able to get them 80-85% LTV on the purchase and still 100% on the rehab. Great question.
I like to add to that, you all. If you go to the website at the bottom, there are templates for each product. There's a matrix that tell you the down payment and the qualifying requirements, because that way you can look at it and what he just told you, whether you are flipping it, new construction, rehab it, it's right there at the bottom of the website.
Yes, ma'am. Can you all see my screen?
Is specific to private hard money lending. Do you work with the DSCR loans?
Yes. So
okay.
we can do DSCR. We love those. What was your first half of your question? I think I had cut you off.
No, I was just asking, do you focus specifically on hard money lending, or do you have other loan products?
Gotcha. So great question. So right on Chambliss, everybody can see my screen? Nod? Yes?
Not yet.
Yes,
okay.
I can.
Okay, perfect. So when you go underneath ChamblissMortgageCapital.com, you hover underneath loan products, you'll see a fix and flip, multifamily, ground up, DSCR, 1 to 4.
I don't see it, Mr. Randy. It's not showing.
Oh, it's not showing?
No, sir.
Nobody else can see it?
We see it. She probably got to flip her screen.
I see
Swipe
it.
her screen.
Oh,
okay.
All
Gotcha.
right, go ahead. Thank you.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. So fix and flip, multifamily, ground up, DSCR, wonderful bridge. What that means that if you have a property that's already livable condition, you don't need a rehab, but you need some quick capital to lock that deal down. It's a bridge. It's 12 months, right? And then you can lock that down, decide what you want to do with it, and then just go into your 30-year mortgage. We have rental portfolio loans as well. And then we have small commercial, like dentist offices, child care centers, things of that nature. But when you click on each one of those loan products, you'll see a quick description, right, of some of our terms and conditions, right? Ms. Patricia mentioned earlier, if underneath the education side, oh, it says learn, there's a brochure that we have put out. It's a little detailed. I don't expect you to know all this, but it's just something brief that you can refer to, and you can see the fix and flip criteria is here. Then you have your ground up criteria, your single family property criteria, accelerate. And so now you see what those are. So what else I can share with you? Oh, there's on the website, there's a deal analyzer as well. So you click on this deal analyzer, it's a fix and flip, you click on it. And then what it does, you can put your name, your email, telephone number, and just throw some numbers in there, right? Whether it's a $25,000 cost, you can see on the right-hand side, it starts to calculate for you. What's your purchase
I got another
price?
chat, Mr. Randy.
Okay, yes,
I'm
ma'am.
interrupting because they could go on that website and read it.
Gotcha, yes, ma'am. And so on the right-hand side, you'll see the blue. So this is a good tool that you can use to even see if you have a good deal or not, if that makes sense. What's the other chat? What's the other question?
Are there any deals you don't do, such as property types?
Good question. So we do. So just remember, no consumer loans, right? Meaning that the property cannot be occupied by the borrower, right? It has to be a non-owner occupied investment properties. We can do single families up to 4 units. You all can't hear me?
Low.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. Let me stop sharing my screen. All right. Is that better?
I can hear you.
All right. Great. So what we don't like to lend in is like rural areas, right? So if it's a rural area, you have a property, we don't like those areas just for the fact it's hard to find comparables for those, right? It's hard to find the value of it. So we don't like the rural area. As long as it's in a decent area and the appraisal report come back, we're fine with it. So it's not too many properties we're going to lend on, but just keep that in mind.
The other one, how much is the down payment? You've talked about that, but I want to reiterate with the private money lending that we do, it's different from hard money. So we want to make that distinguishment. But also, if you have LLC and one partner has the down payment and another one has something else, you can come together. Everybody may not have that 20% by themselves, but you can come together and form an LLC to do what needs to be done.
Absolutely.
The other question is, how do you research your credible insurance and title company? Let's get to that part in your process before we go through that. We don't want you worrying about that ahead of time. We can get there because depending on what state you are and everything, we may have a referral for you. I've my network, I've got real estate people all over the country. So I might have to holler at one, get them to do it. We want to make it easy for you. We want you, I know that's one of the requirements that we ask, but we want you to be able to know that you can get on the monopoly board and purchase some real estate as investment properties. Question is, y'all got good questions. I tell you, do both, that lets me know y'all thinking they getting ready to do it, Mr. Ed. Do both parties have to have qualifying credit score under LLC?
Yes. So if that person owns more than 10% of the LLC on an operating agreement, then we'll be required to be a guarantor, meaning that we will need an application on it. However, if that person owns less than 10%, let's say 5%, then we don't need to pull them in on the application.
I have a question. So how old or how new can a LLC be?
Last night.
Yeah.
Amen.
No seasoning requirements.
All righty. That's good. Thank you.
In the morning.
Well, so I want to share my screen one more time, guys. I think this is important. If you have any other questions, put it in the chat. So I'm assuming you can see my screen. So what you see right now is in the back office of our online RIM, Real Estate Investor Mastermind. So the purpose of this mastermind online is to give you constant value 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where you don't have to wait for that Tuesday to come around to get value. And so when you see it, it's like a feed from a social media site. And so you're able to come in here. I'm always posting. My team is going to be posting as well, different educational videos. Like this is a video clip from one of the podcasts that I did. We posted back here. You'll see other video clips, visualizing a dream mansion, right? How to manifest, right? This is the full interview of a multi-million-dollar earner that I had on the podcast, right? So it have different educational tools that you can hop on and learn 24 hours a day. Ms. Patricia mentioned earlier that these 7 trainings, mastermind live trainings that we did, they will be edited and put it back here as well. Well, what's the point? The point is that you can come in here and you can post motivational stuff too. You can post questions that you may have. And one of my team members is going to be there, including myself, to answer those questions. So if it's late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, they can drop a question in there, right? Now, how do you get access to that? Well, it's very, very simple. When you go to chamblissmarketscapital.com, there's a little link on every page almost that says join the community, right? You just simply click on that little button, join the community, and then right here, just click request to join, and that's it. You put in your name, your email, and you get access to our community. So that's vitally important for your growth, to hold you accountable, to be able to continue your networking so you can find those business professionals back there.
Let me commend you, sir. I was watching one over the other night and, got my notepad out. Although I know it, I teach it, I hear it, but listening the way that you really break, we only have an hour and a half on these masterminds we've been doing, but he went about 2 hours, just really breaking it down. So I encourage you to empower yourself. Look, listen to some good news. Why don't we replace all the chitter chatter that's going on? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Don't even listen to that. Let that affect your emotions. Get on here and learn how you're gonna be empowered to have generational wealth for you and your children's children. It'll be well worth it.
Awesome. So we don't have any other questions. We can close.
Hey,
out.
Randy, I got something they might need to clarify on too as well. When you mentioned about property beyond a rural area, approximately how many miles do they need to be from a major city or town or whatever?
Good question. It kind of depends. Usually at least 3-4 miles. It kind of depends. In that situation, just want to get the address and then we can look it up.
Okay, perfect. Good deal. Good deal. Thank you.
We have another question, sir. Do we have an interest in funding student housing developments? Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, can you provide short-term bridge funding for grant-funded new construction, multifamily housing development? That sounds like 5 questions in one, Mr. Rand. I'm going to pitch it to you.
The answer is yes for the bridge loan funding. That's the 12-month term loan. Actually, we did one last week. They got a grant from the city that they're in.
Sure did.
The
That's
city
right.
took that grant and then put it on the side. They can't touch it, right? They have to use their own funds to get it done. But during the consultation, what we discovered that they own the property free and clear. They had some equity. So to tap into that equity, we did a cash out refinance, right? So we actually put a mortgage on the property, gave them some cash at the table, and so they went out and started to do their rehab. Well, we're comfortable on our end because we seen the grant that they had. We seen the sign from the state from the city, and so we felt comfortable with that. So yes.
Now, he just put that to the side, gave him some cash on the side. We ain't talking about no little cash, y'all. I'm not going to put the people's business out the street, but I want you to know if you find the right property as equitable to flip, There's no limit to how much cash or a check is written to you at the table or wired to you. In other words, your acquisition costs plus your rehab costs. And what is your after repair value? The difference in between that is the equity cash that you have minus costs. So be encouraged. And Mr. Randy, it's been a pleasure, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
And I want to
So-
salute again everybody that's on here that I invited, that jumped on. I look forward to just walking with you through this soon and very soon.
Mhm.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead. Mhm.
The workshop that's in January, is that $55? Is that per day or for the whole workshop?
No, it's gonna be for the whole workshop. That's a deposit. Only price I didn't get was my caterer price, and I don't know how much that is. So the cost, I'm gonna try very hard to make sure where I am. I'm gonna make sure that's beneath $300 for the 3 days, which would
You
include.
better if you want me to come.
All right, then
Okay.
we just won't feed you. How about that?
That's okay.
No.
I live in Baton Rouge. I
know.
know how to bring my brown bag with me. Okay?
You can't carry. You on them styles and say, "Don't bring no food or drink." That's what we gonna say. You ain't coming up in
That's
that
all right. I
palace.
do like we used to do. Go sit in the car and eat.
You ain't coming in that palace with no brown bag. Good question though. But I will get with you for those of you that are interested. Just know the cost gonna be under $300. I just need to. I want to get an accurate amount from the caterer, and the $55 would be subtracted from whatever that total amount is gonna be, and that's for the total 3 days. Good question. I'm glad you mentioned that.
All right. Okay.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I had a blast. You all enjoy the rest of your day on purpose, and I mean that. Take care.